So hi everyone, welcome to Pharmaminds. You all know like why you are gathered here, and I want to introduce our Gpat and NIPER 2024 rankers. And this session is especially for the MBA students who are going to choose MBA, and ever the discussion is going to happen on 20th of July. You will get a brief about it, and who is going to give you the brief? MBA All India Rank 1, 2, and 3. That is Aisha, Abdul, and Gopinath. So they will let you know about all the things which you need to take care, which you need to keep in your mind while having the discussion with the people who are opting for the MBA, and what are the requirements. Like, not only your tongue, you need to be a peer good also, because the first assumption or first perception that they are going to make is on the basis of your behavior and your personal attributes. So over to you, Abdul, Aisha, and Gopinath. And please, Baki log, please participate karna, because the more you ask, the more clarity you will get. Okay, so I hope Anish, Jerry, Pratishtha, सहाना, गोपीनाथ, गायत्री, पवित्रा, रौनक और सिद्धिका, आप लोग अच्छे से कोऑपरेट करोगे. लास्ट मोर क्वेश्चन एंड यू विल गेट मोर क्लैरिटी, बिकॉज ऑल इंडिया रैंक 1, 2, 3 से अच्छी क्लैरिटी आपको कोई दे नहीं सकता, राइट? सो गिव मी अ थम्स अप, देन आई विल म्यूट माय ठीक है, चलो. ओके अब्दुल, यू कैन स्टार्ट.
Okay, so thank you, sir, for the introduction, and good evening, everyone. So myself, Abdul Rahman. I'm currently pursuing MBA in Pharmaceutical Management from NIPER Mohali. So welcome you all to this short GDPI session that we have planned to conduct for you. So the main motto of this session is to clarify your doubts and to make yourselves understand where you are right now. So where you need to work on, what you can expect from an official GDPI session in a NIPER counseling process and all those stuff. So you are open to ask any questions regarding MBA counseling, whether it can be related to GDPI or it can be related to any other general counseling procedures and all those stuff. You are open to ask anything. Hope you guys would have been preparing well for your GDPI. And first of all, congratulations for your ranks that you have got in your NIPER examinations, and hopefully you should get whatever you have been targeting to get into whichever NIPER or whatever course you want. So that's the start from my side. So over to Gopinath or Aisha so that they can start with something.
Hello everyone. So I wanted to know, what do you guys know about GDPA? Like, how should you behave? What is your understanding right now? Anyone?
Ma'am,
Gayatri?
can I say?
Yeah, yeah.
So, ma'am, the first thing of GDPI is never interrupt or cut down anyone abruptly, or never counter someone with by using harsh words like "I disagree with you." You are you are not saying according to the point. So we should disagree, but with politeness and with some professionalism.
Perfect, Anuj. So that is what GED is. It's a group discussion basically. It's not a debate. Basically, you will say what your point is, and you will also appreciate what the other person in your group has to say. Like, you will acknowledge the point of theirs also, because it's a group discussion, right? That is where your teamwork reflects. Because it's all about a teamwork. When you go in corporate, right, that is what the skills they expect. The panelists, that is what they expect. Like, are you good teamwork? Are you good with teamwork? And are you good with leadership? By leadership, what do I say in a group discussion is, if you introduce the topic, in a group discussion, that is where your leadership skill gets reflected. And if you do not cut someone, or if someone by mistake, if you cut someone, then you can say, okay, you may continue. That is where your teamwork reflects, right? And during the conclusion, that is what, if you conclude every point, whatever you have listened from the whole GD in a perfect way, not necessary that all points, but whatever you have listened, that is where your active listening skills reflect. So it's all about a small 10-minute session will say about what skill sets do you have. So that is what GD is about. Yes, Gopinath, you have it. You may add some points.
Hello everyone. First of all, congratulations for your nicer ranks. And one more thing I want to add is you get 1 or 2 minutes time in your, when they announce the topic, you'll get time for jot down the points. But after that, make sure whenever the person speaks, no need to write any points. You have to listen. So that's where your listening skills are being tested. So most commonly, what we do is we start to write down the points the other guys speak. So don't do that. And whenever when you're concluding or summarizing, just tell the points whatever you have discussed in the group discussion. Don't add new points in the summary because everyone will notice that and it will also fetch you negative marks. So make sure not to add any new points in the summary. Just conclude or summarize the points which have been already discussed. Remaining things it is well explained by Aisha and Abdul. Thank you.
I would also like to add something. During your introduction, it is best that what I will suggest is they will give you 1 or 2 minutes of time to think. Right? You can take a paper with you and write it down, but I would advise not to look at the paper and say, because that is like you have written your own points, but you're not very confident about your own points. You're looking at the paper and saying so. And what you can say is before introducing a topic, think of any catchy phrase at the start because that grabs the attention. So, yes, Abdul.
Yeah, that's thank you, friends, for your so hope you guys would have got a fair idea of what a GDPI would actually look like, and you guys would have also been coming to know about all these stuffs up until like at this point of time, because it has been almost a week or maybe 10 days since the results have been announced. So you guys would have been preparing for that. So without wasting much time, so I guess let's start a GD session. So the rules of the session are very simple. The session will be for 10 minutes. Okay, so I guess there are around 6 to 8 people, if I'm not wrong. So the session will be for 10 minutes. Just a minute, people are joining. Okay, so the session will be for 10 minutes, and I'll give a topics, and 2 minutes time will be given for you people to think upon it and jot down your points. And once I say the session is started, I'll switch on the timer in my phone, and 10 minutes will start. So people have to raise their hands and they have to unmute their mic and speak for themselves, speak about their points and all those stuffs. First, you guys you guys do a GD session as per your understanding up until now and what you have learned about GDA, what are the etiquettes of GDA up until now. Once we find some mistakes or once we find some very good etiquettes, we'll inform you once the session is over, and we'll have another GD session where you can implement the the rectifications that was said on the first session. Okay, so everyone is good to go. Just give a thumbs up, and so let us start over it. Okay, fine. So let me give you the topic for now. It is, there is a guy joining. Hello, Achyut.
Hello.
Yeah. So we are gonna start a GD session. So it is like it will be for 10 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
I'll give the topic. So you have 2 minutes for you to think. You can jot down your points, and once I say start, I'll start the timer for 10 minutes. You have to raise your hands and unmute yourselves, and you guys have to see that it's not for him, it's for everyone. You guys have to see that your points are not getting clashed. Like you should not cut your fellow mates and all those stuff, all those etiquettes you might be knowing. So you have to have a eye on that as well. So keep that in mind and proceed with the GD. So once the 10 minutes is over, we'll tell you what are the points that you have to focus on, what are all the some good etiquettes that you people have exhibited. And following that, we'll have one more GD session where you can implement the rectifications that you have learned from the first session. Got it, everyone? Okay, so I'm giving the topic right now. The topic is e-commerce a boon or bane? The topic for the GD session is e-commerce a boon or a bane? Okay, now your 2 minutes time starts. Okay, guys, your 2 minutes is over. So let me start the session. Okay, all the best. Your GD time starts.
Hello, everyone. A very pleasant evening to all. This is Anish Gia from Gujarat. The topic of today's group discussion is e-commerce a boom or a ban? The present topic is in contest with the increase in the window shopping. People of modern world, that is our 21st century, are very much intrigued with purchasing or buying things quickly. Though it has its own advantages, but it also has its own disadvantages, like it snatches away the opportunities from the consumers of the offline retailers. So I would like to invite everyone in this room to express their opinion whether e-commerce is a boom or a ban.
Hello everyone, my name is Gayatri. So now I'm here to talk about that the e-commerce is a bane. Why I'm saying it's a bane because even though it had made people's life very easier, uh, it does not give the feel where the people reach out to stores and test the quality, raise questions about the product, and get to know about it very well. It does not give opportunities for that. Yes, there exist reviews, but most of the reviews are fake or sometimes it is paid reviews. So along with this, I also want to add points that many services are now um, fraudulent services, and that even though if customers reach out to the customer services, they do not respond properly. So this is my take on e-commerce as a bane, and let's hear what other people think.
Hi all, I
I
am
understand.
Kritika.
Okay, you can
Uh,
carry on.
Thank you, Pavitra. So, hi all, I'm Kritika, and I'm here to extend the view, but with an alternate perspective to Gayatri. I would say e-commerce is a boon because I would like to make a notable agreement on the COVID-19 pandemic, where we had lots of online shoppings, not only for the groceries and other stuff, but also for many essentials like even medicines. Also, many educational platforms made use of the digital platforms like Zoom meetings or even Gmeets, which were extremely useful to the students during the pandemic. And not just the pandemic, even now, when you're not able to access a lot of things from home, we can get it in a split second through the digital platforms, which is an important blessing that we got from e-commerce. So, when the e-commerce is made with a proper use and proper knowledge, definitely many fraudulent activities can be avoided, and especially with the help of government, many awareness schemes can be brought so that people can save themselves from getting into the trap of any fraudulent scams. So that's it. I open it to other people's views.
I agree with Kritika. Yes, I also argue that it is a boon because not only convenience, e-commerce also provide many scope for small business owners who cannot maintain a physical store. And it is also, and the matter of choices and variance is also huge in e-commerce. When we visit a physical store, our choices are limited only to the store. But when we purchase through our e-commerce, we have variety of options. We can go through various stores, and there are reliable reviews with photos and videos, which is more reliable, and we can buy or purchase things upon that. And I was also like to make a point that the payment process is much quicker, and there is also variety of payment option. You can also pay on delivery on cash and also do UPI. Many methods are there. It is convenient for the customers. And I invite other panelists also to share their views.
Yeah, so I would like to add on to Pavitra's point, saying that it is a boon in our day-to-day lives, like e-commerce is a boon. Because as we see, for example, if we take into an example as Swiggy or Instamart, we get really everything in 10 minutes, 0.5 minutes of time, which is really a boon. We get emergency things really in a time. And if we take the example of, we get everything by 20, we can do an online shopping for 24 by 7. There's no restrictions on that, and there's no geographical barriers. Like you can get your things from different countries, and if you have to do an offline shopping, you have to go there and get it. But in case of e-commerce, you can get it from various countries, and there's no barriers related to that.
Very well said, Sahana. But I would like to provide a different point of view. Quality is one of the major factors when we purchase any goods. Does e-commerce provide that factor? Who knows whether the silk cloth which we are buying is actually a silk or a wool or a cotton? And also, e-commerce takes away the opportunities of offline retailers. Where they will go? Who will feed them? Will they starve? And one of the other concerns of e-commerce is what about the rural area businesses? India, 95% of our 70 to 80% of our Indian population lives in rural area. So who will fill the lag of e-commerce and offline in rural area? Since in everybody not in rural area is well with the e-commerce thing. So I would like to invite everyone's opinion on this.
I appreciate his view, but I also like to add a point that many e-commerce websites like Amazon's are providing special incentives to the small hut businesses and rural businesses, and many rural businesses have been one of the top sellings in Amazon's. So I think it's a matter of developing the rural areas and also giving them opportunities to the global access. I also invite others to share their views.
Yes, I would like to provide a point in accordance with Pavitra. Because there are also a lot of government schemes which are inviting women and small scale businessmen to expand their business with the use of e-commerce. Because especially when it comes to minimal craftsmanship, where people don't have lots of access to modern cities, malls, and other stuff, they can definitely sit in their own places and connect with any e-commerce website through whatever government schemes they are getting, and they can definitely sell their products online, which is also accessible to many of the rural areas. I think with major support from the government and also technology, with in near future we'll be able to develop so much of e-commerce that will reach the rural areas too.
Yeah, so I would like to add on to Kritika's point and say another point related to the boon related to e-commerce. which is we see nowadays that even rural areas, like as Anish said, even have UPIs, they have different modes of payments. So it is not that rural areas are not developed and they are not exposed to e-commerce. They are somewhat exposed, but not that much. But they can be exposed by few in the future. It is possible. So e-commerce is a better way to expose their ideas to the whole world. Like instead of just setting their shop in the rural areas.
Hi everyone, I would like to add a point. E-commerce is a boon for the consumers who are willing to purchase anything from their comfort. But it is also a bane for the small and medium enterprises who have built their marketplace over a long period of time in their hometown and in their locality. But due to the increasing craze of e-commerce, it is now declining and their profits and their marketplaces are decreasing efficiently.
I would love to add some more points as a boon to the e-commerce. Starting with medicines till cosmetics, whatever you're getting in real from the place is actually quite expensive than what you get in e-commerce most of the time because we get a lot of offers, coupons, and other discounts which we do not actually get in the place where we go in real and buy. For example, many websites like Nika and even pharmacies like Apollo provide a huge discount when it comes to online bookings which saves time and even human workmanship. So I would say online payments are even making things simpler in many ways, not always. So that is quite preferable when it comes to be cost effective.
Yeah, so I would like to add to Kritika's point and say that, as she told, we don't need any physical stores, to sell our products as related to e-commerce. So the cost of the product is drastically reduced due to that, as we don't need any physical stores and warehouses to store it, and to transport it from one place to another, to warehouse, to the shop or whatever. As that cost is reduced in e-commerce, so it is definitely a boon to customers.
So, I would like to add some points why e-commerce is a bane because, as Kritika said, the e-commerce offers products at a very lower prices when compared to real. Yes, it is real, but when you receive the product, in some cases, they provide products that are nearing the expiry date, which is not actually good to the consumers, right? And it also takes so much of time for the delivery, and sometimes there are the technical glitches that prevents restricts the customers from purchasing in the e-commerce.
Very well
Okay,
said. Gayatri.
okay. The time is up. Fine.
Yeah.
So I guess 6 members have participated in this GD: Sahana, Gayatri, Kritika, Anish, Pavitra, and Jerry. Okay, so each of you will have 30 seconds. Okay, I'll say when to stop. So 30 seconds. It's up to you. 30 seconds is a maximum limit. So you have to conclude the entire GD session. Okay, so I'll call out the name, starting with Gayatri.
So I would like to conclude the session by saying that among the 6 panelists, many of them favored that e-commerce is a boon, and few of them share that e-commerce is a bane. So coming to the point of boon, people suggested that it's a way of development, whereas coming to the point of bane, e-commerce is a bane. Panelists said that the quality does not remain the same, and there are so many fraudulent cases that arises too.
Okay, thank you, Gayatri. Now, Anish.
Very meticulous and legit points were presented in this room. I definitely agree with all the positive and negative viewpoints in this room. I would like to conclude on a note that there must be a hybridization of e-commerce and offline shopping, as we do not have to starve the offline retailers too, as well as e-commerce is currently at a very booming stage in India. Everyone wants to buy their products from Amazon and Flipkart. So there must be a hybridization of both, where both parties are benefited equally.
Thank you, Anish. Now, Jerry.
I would like to conclude the GD with my viewpoint that E-commerce cannot be controlled, e-commerce cannot be declined, but it can be regulated. And like one person said that the dark stores are very quite effective, but the dark stores have recently, like Zepto has been raided by the government authorities, so that due to the bad and unhygienic conditions. That's why e-commerce should be
Thank you, JD.
promoted. But
Your time is up. Sorry. Okay, now Kritika.
Yes, coming to the conclusion of this group discussion, which was small yet diverse, few of the panelists said it is a boon, supporting the statement that it is cost effective, time effective, and a major technological development that brought people's life to a higher level. And the other panelists suggested it is still a boon because of the quality of the products, other fraudulent or scam activities that people come across. But on a mutual basis, there were a few agreements which came in common, like the time effectiveness and the cost effectiveness, but also to be considered the
Thank you,
fraudulent.
Kritika. Your time is up. Sahana.
Yeah, so I would like to conclude by saying that everyone has their different opinions, and we got different opinions in this group discussion. It is both a boon and bane. I can't disagree with that. As in case of boon, we can see that it is cost effective, it is time effective, and the product cost are comparatively less. And in case of bane, it is actually reducing the stores in the rural areas. The rural area stores um, cannot extend their cannot extend their businesses in terms of
Thank you,
e-commerce.
Sahana. Your time is up. Now, Pavitra.
From my active listening to the panelists, I conclude that there is both boon and bane in the e-commerce. The boon, as we discussed, is its convenience, it is cost effectiveness, and its effective service, whereas the bane sides are due to its improper services and compromise in the qualities. I suggest that we should not turn the blind spot to the advantages and also work on the disadvantages to make the e-commerce applicable to all. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, guys. So it was a good GD session. So I would like to share some things which I noted right from the start. So the start was good. Like it was a very quick start. There was no delay between the start of the time and the way when you started. So Anish started it. So and one more thing is that the charming start that was given by Anish, like it should be like that. Like you have to give that bold voice and it should be welcoming. Okay, so the start should be like that only. So it was a good start, Anish. And moving on, like I found people again and again repeating that I would like to invite all the panelists to add some points. It is at the beginning it is fine, but during the course of the discussion, it is not necessary to keep on stressing that. Like I would like to invite all the panelists. I would like to others to put their opinion on this and all those stuffs. You just say your point and let keep it open for others to speak. In the beginning, one or two dialogues, it's fine, but after that, try to avoid that. And don't try to say the topic while you are speaking. Like, say, for an example, I give the topic as e-commerce is a boon or a bane. So while you are speaking, don't reassert the topic again. Like, I'm going to speak for boon or e-commerce is a boon is what I'm going to speak like that. Just make your point in such a way that it makes the listener understand that you are speaking for boon or bane. Okay, that is one review that I wanted to give. And specifically focusing on Gayatri because she spoke against the e-commerce and all others spoke for the motion. And Gayatri, you could have had a brownie point if you had pitched in a bit earlier because you were the only one who was speaking against e-commerce. So at this point, what it means is when there are 6 members who are doing a GD and all 5 members are speaking for a particular topic, and when we will get bored, like we will get bored to see to have the same points to hear about the same advantages of a particular topic. So the listener wants to have something unique. So when you at that time when you pitch in with the opposite opposite viewpoint, so that becomes a good point of attention for you, so you will get noticed very easily. So that is what I noticed from Gayatri. And Anisha's message that he has also spoke against it's not about correcting and all, just my opinion, okay, because you spoke against the motion and that is a brownie point because all four of them were for the motion. So that's the opinion that I gave. Okay, Anish. Okay, fine, got it, Anish. You are also, maybe I couldn't have. I would have missed your. I was I was taken away by your English. To be honest, your start was nice. Okay, so that was the reason. And apart from that, in the conclusion part, I found like people adding some new points and new examples to the conclusion, which is not recommended. The conclusion in a GD should be summarizing the points that you have spoken, that you guys have spoken in the entire session. So don't try to add new points and new examples in the conclusion. And you can add your examples and good data points while you are speaking. Okay, make your entries were crisp, like no one took that much time, and there was a small gap in between, like where everyone became silent. So try to avoid that. Like that, you'll by practice you will come to know what to do, what not to do. So that is all it has been that I have observed. So Gopinath and Aisha will say what they have observed, and Aisha will take over the next GD session. Thank you, guys.
Hello everyone. So what I have noticed is the GD was very smooth, but at some point there was an awkward silence. So at that time I was wondering who will take over the session. At that time Jerry came, so that grabbed my attention. So he took that step to not make that silence very long. So kudos to that Jerry. And you could have added your points in a more a more impactful way. Your entry was very good, and also Anish, it was a very good like introduction. The voice, the way you speak is all that matters to grab the attention. And everyone was speaking, like most of the people were speaking that it is a boon. It is good, but back it with many facts. Like Sahana has added many facts, and Pavitra, for example, what happened was Anish came into the discussion and said it is a Dane. So he gave some examples also, and he stated it with some facts. So and figures also, like some percentage. So if you mention some percentage, right, like Anish did, so it grabs the attention of the of other people.
Okay, she lost the connection. Gopinath, you can continue till.
Okay, the GD was so good. But still, some fillers that you have mentioned, like I would love to add, try to make it in a formal way. So I think Kriti had mentioned, like I have allowed to add. So instead of saying that word, try to give a filler which is very formal and polite. For some, try to bring out live examples, current examples. Hope everyone has mentioned the same, like Zepto and all the fast e-commerce. It was good. Yeah, that is from my part.
And when Anish said about the figures, right? So it was very good. And I was wondering if it will have a good defense. So from there, Pavitra had a very good defense in that, saying that no, rural areas do get benefited from e-commerce. And she also stated with, she backed her statements with like she had some points with to say, not just vague statements. So that was fine. And everyone will keep on saying, like as Abdul has said, I invite other people. So the invite other people, that phrase, no, it happens during the introduction. I invite other people to join the discussion. Afterwards, you need not to use that phrase. Use something else. Search for yourself, and try avoid using some phrases like I would love to add. So it's not very professional. I'd love to add it. I will like to add. Many people were saying the same thing. I like to add. So there's not, it's not very necessary you like to add something what other people have said. You will be having many, like if you don't know about the topic, then you can use this and add some points to that. But every time when you say this, no, I will like to add, I will like to add, it seems like, okay, you are not well aware of the topic and you just want to add some points what other people have said. Okay, so the choice of words is all, it's all that matters. And yeah, use some examples. It's not very difficult topic also. E-commerce, like many examples. Use names. Basic names, Flipkart, Amazon. When you use names and when you use numbers, like Anish did the percentages, it's a very common like this much percentage of rural people. He did not. It was not very difficult thing to add. So whatever you guys notice around you, you can add those numbers, you can add those names, you can use that. So that grabs attention. So that is what I want to say. Yes, that is what is from my side.
Great. Now you all three become a mentor, and you shared all the valid points. I was not planning to be in session for the complete hour, but somewhere I manage. So I want to add one point which already been cleared by Abdul and Gopinath, that when you are in discussion, you can invite anyone and you want others people attention also. So at that particular time you can invite, right? But when you are summarizing, so summarizing point should be yours only. Whatever points you have delivered in the past 15 minutes, you have to summarize in few 3 to 4 lines. So that summary should be yours, and it doesn't matter. It is not going to matter like what other people wants and what other people is going to think. You just need to summarize your words. So when you are in the discussion, you can invite, but when you are closing the statement, when you are summarizing, all the things belongs to your statement only. Okay. And second thing, now do you have the idea like what is going to happen on 20th of July? Did you get any idea about it? Okay, so this is how the things going to work. And just tell me one more thing. Do you need one more topic or one more session, like one more GD point, or you can close? Okay, one more. Anish?
Sir, I have a doubt.
Hmm.
If during GDPI, if someone interrupts, then we have to stop talking and let other give the chance, because when we are saying, and if the other person is just keep on paraphrasing again and again, not adding something new, but I have something new to add. So during that time, what I have to do?
So if somebody is speaking like in between, if you are delivering your speech or you are having your points and somebody is interrupting, so that is a noticeable point, and those who are judging that GD, so that create a negative mark to that particular person. So you can add your point, but at the end of his conversation, once he has done with his statement, then you can add. And you need to ask first, like, I want to add something. Am I right, Gopinath, Abdul?
Yes, sir.
So if somebody is interrupting you, let them speak. It create a good perception about you. Okay. So do you feel there should be one more topic or one more GD?
The discussion, it's a teamwork effort. Yeah, some people may. So mo- most of you will get two chances. Don't try to exceed your chances. Like try to speaking for 3 minutes, 3 times, 4 times in a GD. That will make yourself like a dominating person. That will also create a bad impression. You may think that you are adding more points, but try to limit yourself. Try to incorporate all your points in 2 takes. So try to give everything in a 2 takes and don't exceed beyond 3, let's say, because everyone needs a chance there. So this also includes your teamwork. So you should allow others to speak and you should also speak. This is how teamwork goes and this is how a deal goes.
Okay, so one point I forgot to share, that Aisha bring into the attention, that if you are sharing anything about anything, whatever you have thought about that particular topic, so if you are delivering anything without facts, without numbers, so it will be a communication only. But when you are introducing number, facts, examples, then it will bring attention of the listener. So it is always going to be helpful and impactful speech or debate or discussion if you are adding facts and number. The facts and number should not, if it is not accurate, it is okay, but it should be around that number. Means, let's say we don't know like how many people are on e-commerce. Like I rarely use to order anything, but my friend used to order everything online. Okay, so I can guess like in my PG or in this building, 70% people use e-commerce platform, 30% don't use e-commerce platform. So use numbers, use the example like which company is providing e-commerce business, either it is Alibaba, Zepto, or Blinkit, Zomato, Swiggy, GeoSmart. So any like whatsoever company you name, you know the name, just add in your statement. Okay.
Yeah, well, I would also like to add one point. Like I noted a issue between Pavitra and Kritika while speaking about the teamwork. Both of them pitching at the same time, but they got an understanding, and one spoke first, and the next spoke the second. So that's how you have to manage when two people clash at the same point. So that was a good gesture. I forgot to mention that. So everyone had that in mind while doing your GD and for the sessions.
I also wanted to add something. Like here, it is fine. Many people are raising their hands, so we will get to know who raised their hands first. So they'll be getting the chance the next after the other person speaks. But in the real scenario, what happens is it's very chaotic, guys. So many people will be interrupting, and that is not very good. So you guys, how can you guys manage that? Is make eye contact with whoever is speaking. For example, if I am in the GD and Anish is introducing, say for an example. So if I'm looking at Anish, if I'm making eye contact with Anish, then what happens is when Anish is about to finish that introduction, right? Then he will have that gesture in his face and he will look at me. So I can grab that opportunity and then I can speak. And then, if some other person, if for example, Kritika, she has a very good eye contact and she is looking at me, then obviously when I slow down my face, then Kritika will take over that. So that is how you can avoid one chaotic group discussion. So eye contact matters. Yeah.